Revised Liftr Index adds new metrics.
Microsoft Azure adds new availability zones.
And Google Cloud expands its managed database services.
These stories and more are coming up on this week's Liftr Cloud Roundup, Friday, April 27th.
Welcome to another edition of the Cloud Roundup on LiftrNews.com. I'm Shaylee Webb.
And I'm Corey Bowling. Let's take a look at some interesting changes in the cloud this week and how they impacted the Liftr Index.
The Liftr Index is constantly evolving with new data points and metrics to better measure the index's supported platforms on a range of important factors.
Over the past week, Liftr added a new global presence category which measures the global availability of a cloud provider's services. Off the top, Amazon's AWS and Google Cloud outrank Microsoft Azure by a considerable amount. Part of this difference is due to Liftr's new redundancy metric, which focuses on whether a provider offers redundant availability zones within a given region.
When it comes to region redundancy, Microsoft Azure is playing catch-up. Many of its regions do not include redundant availability zones, despite Microsoft having nearly double the number of active regions as AWS. Redundancy is a key factor in any service's resiliency.
Availability zones typically involve numerous individual data centers located near each other within a region. Their separation gives them the benefit of being independently run and less prone to downtime should one of the data centers experience a power failure or any other type of service interruption. Because they're located within the same area, companies don't have to be concerned about a sudden increase in latency when their traffic is diverted to a redundant zone.
Microsoft is making an effort to increase the number of availability zones in key markets. For example, just this past month, Microsoft launched new availability zones in its Georgia region. Microsoft is currently previewing availability zones in the US, West Europe, and Southeast Asia, in addition to existing zones in France and Central US.
Google has announced a new set of updates to its cloud-based data storage services. The first update is a beta launch of Cloud Memory Store for Redis, a fully managed in-memory data store that enables users to set up in-memory caching for capacity buffering.
Another new service is called Cloud Bigtable. It's a funny name for a NoSQL database solution for large workloads involving giant data sets. One of the new features rolling out this week is regional replication. It will give companies a redundant alternative to Cassandra that exists entirely within the Google Cloud infrastructure. Cloud SQL and Postgres are being made available by a 99.95% service level agreement.
That's a wrap for this week's Roundup on LiftrNews.com. Has your business made major strides using cloud? We want to hear from you. Email us at ideas@liftrnews.com.